And here we are again, the 6 o'clock broadcast, where we will be opening this 1970S original bank wrapped roll. Hello, Joe McBride. This one's actually from the Mechanics Bank. I'm not sure what state or anything to that effect, but it is a 1970S roll. We're hoping to find some real goodies in this one. 1970S is always an exciting year to open, simply because we have that chance for small dates, we have that chance for valuable double dies. There's even a couple of nice RPMs that we could find in there. So, with that having been said, let's go ahead and get to it. Whole bunch of double dies known for 1970S. Got my 50 names, got them in the bag, and we got one card here for the wrapper, just like usual. How you doing, Joe McBride? Looks like you get to start this one off alone with me. Just the two of us. Alright. Here we go. I'm going to start picking the paper apart. This is a Batdorf style roll. This roll type was invented by a person by the name of Batdorf. Last name was Batdorf. And his invention rolled coins much more tightly than a lot of the other bank wrappers of the day. It was invented and patented in 1919. It wasn't used until years after that. But it's noted by this V-shaped cut in the paper and the fact that the rolls are generally much tighter. Another thing about them is that often the coins inside Batdorf rolled rolls stay in better condition over the years than do coins wrapped in other styles of rolls. So Batdorf rolls are typically going to be much nicer than other styles of rolls. So here we go. Mechanics Bank, wherever it was. A full roll, 1970S, Lincoln cents here, never been looked at before. So we're going to get started. Levels of Madness, Midnight Silver Run, how you guys doing? Alright, so Wild Bill's going to get the first coin in the roll. Always nice to see what's in the roll, even though this one does have the touch of death on it. It has the circle of death going around it. But always nice to see what we're getting into anyway. I see nothing on this one. Not yet, anyway. Let's go on around and see if there's any hub doubling going on. No hub doubling that I can see. Okay, let's flip it over and see what we got on the other side. There are some double die reverses for 1970S. A number of them are proof, but there are a couple of mint state examples out there too. Look at most of the same typical things for a Class 2 double die that you look for with other memorial reverses. We're looking for a little extra separation toward the rim at any point, or extra thickness toward the rim. Don't see anything there, so we're going to put coin number 1 in its holder and move on to coin number 2. Coin number 2 will go to Adam Chambers. Oh, wait a minute, we didn't get Wild Bill's name in there. Make sure I remember that that coin goes to him. So Adam Chambers gets coin number 2. And here is coin number 2. Get a good look at it. Could be darn near anything. So we're checking for pretty much everything. I go a little slow in the beginning just to make sure I'm not missing anything. This is not an RPM. I know it kind of looks like one, but it isn't. And how do I know? I've seen lots and lots of 1970S Lincoln cents. I've been through a lot of rolls of these. So you got all these roll hunters and bag hunters now going through 2 or 3 boxes of pennies a week And I honestly have no clue how they can go through that many coins looking for all of the value. Most of these people are just looking for wheat pennies and Canadian pennies. I'm thinking, what kind of value is in those? Here's Chuck Patillo. About 99.5% of the wheat pennies you're going to find in change today are going to be from the 40s and 50s, and they're not going to have a whole lot of value anyway because they're going to be pretty well circulated. We're talking probably 3 cents a coin, maybe 5. And then Canadian pennies, those have even less value than that. And in fact, in the United States, they don't have much of any value at all. Rolls of Canadian pennies, I've seen rolls of circulated Canadian pennies from the past 20 years, I've seen sell for as little as 65 cents a roll. Yeah, there's people actually going through 2 or 3 boxes per week. They go to their bank every week and bother them for 2 or 3, 4 more boxes of coins. Nickels, pennies, dimes, quarters, half dollars, whatever. They take them home and they start dumping them out on a table, and they dump them out and they go through them, presumably with the Lincoln cents, only looking for wheat cents and Canadian or foreign coins, which I have no idea why anybody would bother doing that. I would actually be out to look for value in the coins. Given that, it takes me at least a week, maybe 2 weeks, to go through a single $25 box. These people talk about how they could do it in a weekend. They could do 2 or 3 boxes in a weekend. And I'm thinking if I worked at it full time for as long as it took to get it done, I might be able to do 1 box in a week. Just think it's ridiculous what kind of time and resources and energy these people are wasting to do this. But they say it's for the fun. It's not for the value. They just want the wheat pennies. I want you to just buy a bag of wheat pennies. Hello, Aunt Orta. Coin Junkie, Jeff Dunn. Few guys that get 8 to 10 boxes of cents a week. See, I have no clue how anybody could do anything with 8 to 10 boxes of cents in a week. The only thing I could ever condone doing with 8 to 10 boxes of cents a week is rifle through them, get out the better condition coins so that you have something to go through later, and then take all the junky ones back. Even that is risking missing good valuable coins. But at least it has some purpose that's better than just digging out a bunch of worthless wheat pennies and Canadian pennies. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Hey, Wild Bill, you took the first coin in the roll and we haven't found anything yet. So, you got the circle of death on yours, unfortunately, because it came off the very beginning of the roll. All the coins in the roll, though, have been nice coins. Nothing wrong with the condition of the coins. Just we haven't really found anything of value yet. We're 5 coins in. We're still looking. Chuck Patillo. Yeah, see, Eric Beyer, you've got the idea. A couple of handfuls a week I can understand. Especially, you know, that's a couple of handfuls a week, even if you've got big hands. You're talking about fewer than 5 rolls that you're going through in a week. And I can understand that. But, and then these people ruin everything for everybody else, because if I go to the bank wanting a single box of pennies that'll take me a month to 2 months to go through, they scoff at that because of your, I'm going to call them penny idiots that go in there grabbing 8, 10 boxes per week. The bank has to do a total reorder because that's all the pennies they go through in a week. So they have to order this stuff special for you, and somebody's got to pay for that. But I guess they don't really care, right? That's what my bank does for a living. It's order pennies so I can get them at no profit to them. How do you think they stay going to work? Yeah, you were first for once. That's right. First for once, and it wasn't necessarily a good thing. Here you go. Here's another Wild Bill right here. Let's see what we can pull for Wild Bill. you can't argue these coins are in good shape. I mean, there's pretty nice 1970s Lincoln cents here. We'll back out on this one and take a look at it after I get done looking for hub doubling, which I don't see on this coin. Let's take a look at the reverse here real quick. Don't see anything going on there either. So let's do this. We'll get a look at the entire coin at once. There's the reverse. That's a nice coin. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Hey, Jess. So we're looking at a nice MS65 red coin there. That is nice. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So I'll bring it back down. Focus back in. There we go. Just so you can see that these coins are very nice. They're nice quality coins. They may not bring us any die varieties, but at least they're nice quality coins. Of course, we dug into this looking for die varieties, so that's what I'm hoping we find. I just know it. One of these days, I'm going to do a reveal on a 1970s roll, and we're going to run into DDO number 1. Here's another wild bill. While we're talking about it, let's just do it, right? DDO number 1. Not there. Yeah, we tried, right? Not a DDO number 1. Yeah, I just want to be able to go downstairs and tell the wife, because she asks me how these shows go. She said, well, how was your roll? Well, we did okay. Got a couple of RPMs, a couple of double dies. Oh, that's nice, dear. That'd be cool if I was able to go down there and she says, well, how'd your roll go? I said, well, we only found about $60,000 worth of double dies. Really, how much did you make? Nothing. They go to the people who bought the coins. That's the whole point. When we run into the really nice stuff, we've done it for the people who've paid for the coins in advance. That's the whole point here. Find really valuable coins for you. They're yours. They're yours already. They're just purchased out of a roll that's never been opened. That's all there is to it. There's some nice, interesting, higher grade coins. We just haven't found any die varieties yet. I'm not giving up. There are a number of die varieties for 1970s. Just a matter of finding them. Alright, so that gives us coin number 9, James Worley. We are nowhere near done looking for new dies in the stack. We're only 10 coins into the roll now with... Oh, look at that. Mr. Worley's going to get the wrapper. So I'm going to put a J. Worley on here. And this Mechanics Bank 1970 original roll wrapper goes around his name. Just like that. And he's going to get that wrapper. Alright, let's draw for coin number 10 now. Coin number 10 goes to Adam Chambers. I will have to let you guys know that as soon as this broadcast is over, as soon as we're done with our coins for today, I'm going to have to drop. Because the wife made good dinner. Oh, yuck. We have something stuck to the coin here. It looks like a virus. Came straight out of an original bank wrap roll like that, so that happened at the bank. I'll leave it on there so you can run it through the tester and see what it is. My wife made dinner. She says, oh, it'll be ready around 6:30. And I said, yeah, there's a little bit of a problem with that. And she said, what's that? And I said, I have a roll reveal at 6, and it'll take me until close to 7 to get it done. She said, well, I guess just come down and eat when it's done. Okay. Hey, look, there's a double die. You see it inside the 0? Inside the upper part of the 0, and there's a little hook on the bottom. That is a double die. So Mr. Worley gets a double die and gives me a reason to go back through the rest of the coins again. You can see it best. Well, there's the 0 part. You can see it inside the upper part of the 0. And then this little hook down on the bottom. Let me see if I can get it in a good spot so you can see it really well. No, I guess I was best with it turned right side. There we go. There's a good way to see the hook right there. There's a little hook right on the very bottom of the 0. Well, that marks us up for the bottom part of the double die. The cone. See if there's anything around the L. Nothing around the L, and it doesn't show in God We Trust, but it is a double die. We're going to call that die number 1 for the roll. Die number 1 for the roll is going to go to James Worley. It's going to be our first example of this particular die. Yeah, we may actually have a minor class 6 double die reverse, so I'll have to take a look at that too. Looks like we may have a little bit of extra thickness in the initials, and at least in the CENT of 1 cent. So I'll have to take a better, closer look at that later on. But Mr. Worley is going to get the first double die out of this roll. That's coin number 11. You think it's number 15? Could very well be, I'm sure. Hampton, I do remember finding a couple of those, although it was a totally different source, totally different roll. I remember finding some of those at another point in time. Actually, here I'm looking closer at the mint mark than anything else. Okay, this is machine doubling. It shows on the bottom of the upper of the 9, the 7, and the 0, and it also shows on the mint mark. This is machine doubling here. It's all flattened down, and it takes up part of the digits that are there. You can see how the digits have really sharp edges, and they're kind of scraped in. I tell you what, this is a really good time for a learning experience. Let's take a look at this real close. You see how the field is struck into that secondary that makes up the doubling? You see how thin that 9 is? Here's your 7. And let me get it so you can see. There's your 0 right there. See how thin that 0 becomes? Here, let me shed a little more light on the subject. There we go. You see how thin that 0 becomes in the higher relief area? You've got that doubling in there, but that doubling is actually part of the actual digit. And the second hit from the die flattened that part and raised up just a little bit the field area, but you see how thin that 7 is otherwise? That thin's like super, 7's like super thin. Okay, now let me take this out. I'll take that coin out. That's going to be Paul Hampton's coin. We'll lay it on top of his name there. Then I'm going to pull this one back out. This was Mr. Worley's coin. Now remember what you've already seen. And when we look at this, you'll see how it's different. See how the 7 has a normal thickness and shape, and so does the 0? But in addition to that normal thickness and shape, you also get this doubling. That doubling is not part of the thickness and shape of the normal 0. That is an additional 0. And you can also see it barely on the 7. It's kind of there. If I flip it around the right direction, see, you can see it right there on the 7. And here it is on the 0. Now you can really see a difference right there between a double die, which this is, and the machine doubling, which was on the other coin that I just showed you. You mash down part of the normal letters, and turn it into doubling, and it doesn't look like hub doubling. It continues to look like something was mashed, something was smashed, something doesn't belong. There's your double die again. Okay, get a really good look at what that is, or screen capture it or something. You can see it there at the bottom of the 0 especially. Now, we're going to go back to the machine doubling real quickly. I want you guys to really get this impression and understand what you're looking at. See how the machine doubling looks so different? It looks like part of the 970 were smashed to make that doubling. They are large date, but that's not what we're working with here. We're working with the doubling. Not run into a small date sent in a bank wrapped roll yet. Never. That doesn't mean I never will. That just means I never have. But when it comes to the doubling, 1968 through 1970 cents are going to help you more than anything else, because that's where it's most prevalent, the machine doubling. 1970 is a really good year because it not only has machine doubling, but it also has a number of double dies. So that's what I wanted you guys to be able to see. What Tam made for dinner, I think it's a pot roast with carrots and taters. So pot roast with carrots and taters. Anybody want some? I'll stick it in a bubble envelope for you, mail it to you. I think we made plenty. Excuse me. My hay fever kills me. All right, got nothing on that coin on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what came out there. All right. Seems like there's nothing there. So we'll keep tooling along. That was lucky coin number 13. Was Paul Hampton. Of course, he just got coin number 12. We got coin number 12 and coin number 13. Let's draw somebody else's name. Wild Bill. Well, does Wild Bill get a double die, or does he not? This one is not. Not a double die. What's that? I guess I should not say that. There's not a double die in the date area. Also not an RPM, but it could have been a double die over in the Liberty area, because there are a few bar L's known for 1970. There's a few pretty nice double dies, though. It's not just die number 1. There's a few others that are pretty nice, too. So let's get Wild Bill's name in there and draw for coin number 15. Coin number 15 goes to Eric Beyer. Mr. Beyer will get this. Not a double die. I just did it again. I quit doing that. Alright, let's take a look at the reverse. See what happened on the reverse. Nothing there, Capitan. So Eric gets himself a normal 1970 S large date Lincoln cent. It's in really nice condition. Too bad who's so far away. What, you want some of my meat? Some of my roast? You can have some of my roast. Swing on by. You're not that far away. I can keep it in the fridge for you till you get here. What are you, about an hour and a half, 2 hours away? Just with the social distancing, I'll have to make you eat on the front porch, though. That's the only unfortunate part. But that's okay. You can sit at one end and I'll sit at the other end. I'll talk with you. But right now I ain't hugging none of my brothers. No hugs. MTN Vaults, how you doing? All right, Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run will walk away with the next coin. Let's see what we get. Hey, we got another double die. This one is a different double die because the hook is larger and it's in a slightly different spot. Plus, you don't see anything necessarily inside. There we go. There's a better look at it. That perfect shot right there. That is a 1970S double die, and it is different from the double die that we had earlier. That's right, social distancing. This one could be marked by the fact that we have a number of relatively random die scratches all around the coin. Let's take a look at the L and see if we have anything under the L. Sometimes we have something on the L with these, but this one doesn't have it. But that we do definitely have an easy to identify 1970S double die. I'm going to say this is probably die 7. Mr. Dowdle, no sir. I'm not drawing anything for you yet. So we have a second double die, a second die. Let me put this in the holder for Midnight Silver Run. So coins number 11 and 17 in this roll so far have been double dies. That one might be a number 18. Okay. And Joe McBride. Joe McBride comes up with the next coin in the roll. Let's take a look. And what do we have here? You turn the brightness down just a little bit, make it easier to see. Come on. There we go. Focus it just a little better. Nope, that's not what I want. I want it focused. Thank you. Thank you, camera, for not deciding on my focus. My focus is usually pretty good because I can see pretty well when it comes to this stuff. Wow, look at the patterns. We got chemtrails going on here. That's some serious die scratching. Oh, my camera decided to blitz out on me. It's getting a little hot, I guess. Alright, well, we're only on coin number 18 in the roll, and we're almost halfway through with the show, so I've got to hurry up. No commercial break this time. We're trying to speed things up for time. Trying to get in, get out, so I can get to dinner. Get to a point where when Mr. Eubanks gets here, I can sit out on the porch with him, don't have to let my dinner get cold. I ain't eating on no porch. I got a dining room table. I think it could be number 5. 5 or 7, some chance. Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn gets the next coin, and the next coin is not a double die in the date, not an RPM. Nothing in the motto, nothing on the I. Nothing on Liberty. Let's flip it over and see if we have anything on the reverse side. And on the reverse side, we also have nothing at all. Chucky's voice is a little messed up today because Chucky's going through a little bout of the hay fever. It's a seasonal thing for me. I was just out on my back deck. It's covered in yellow dust. Yellow dust everywhere. Alright. Here we go. Levels of Madness will get the next coin. Let's see what Levels ends up with here. And Levels gets... yeah, looks like a normal 1970S Lincoln Cent. So far. Yeah. Not seeing anything. I thought this could be a minor class 1 double die because the top of the 0 looked a little fat. But that could have been caused by the flattening that we've got there from the strike. Yeah, looks normal. All right, let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse of this one. Not seeing anything out of the ordinary on the reverse. So, it is a nice coin. Nothing apparent wrong with the coin at all. I'm going to show you guys a channel sticker of one of my buddies. You guys, most of you anyway, know him. Give him a little plug here. Silver Nitrate. Good friend. Over there in the Aloha State. Wait, did I leave somebody's? I didn't leave anybody's name under there. So we'll just leave that there for now. We'll just put people's name over the crossbars. J.O.B. J.O.B. comes up next, and J.O.B. will get this normal Lincoln cent. It's like a normal 1970S Lincoln cent. Oi, oi. So learn not to cough in people's ears. All right, let's take a look at the reverse. My eyes are itchy too. That tells me this is hay fever. Typical hay fever. Silver's dropping while the stock market is tanking, probably because of an overall economic collapse, in the sense that the market's dropping because people have less of they have a more bleak outlook on the forecast for business, but at the same time, without the business to use the metals, then there is no demand on the metals. No demand on the metals makes them go down. So this is what we call a recession. Next one up, levels of madness. Typically, people will dump their stocks and go into metals when things are looking hard. But right now, there's no demand for the metals, so the metals don't have anywhere to go either. So just no value. Generally, also, when the U.S. stocks drop, the world economy gets a little bit better. And if you haven't noticed, I'll let you know that the world economy is actually very devastated by this, as is marked by the fact that all of the world indexes are falling, some of them more steeply than others. The Dow Jones is not the only affected index. The other thing that we seem to be having a lot of issue with is the value of foreign currency is dropping faster than the value of the dollar, which means that the dollar is actually gaining ground on foreign currencies, which means that the money market might actually be a decent place to be right now. Not giving financial advice. So Jim Fletcher is next. Let's get Mr. Fletcher's coin over here and see what we got going on. Yeah, look like a rather normal 1970S. This large date Lincoln cent here. Let's see. It's looking above the 7, because sometimes you'll see little lines above the 7. Those are actually double dies too. I don't see anything going on here. Spiked head. Had a die crack going all the way up to the rim next to the E from within the hair. So I do have a spiked head die crack there. Well, that's true. I mean, they're expecting a pretty quick rebound in the markets. So given that they're expecting a pretty decent rebound in the markets, why would you want to sell something at the dump price that it's at now? Hang on to it, and value will come back up. Do not sell your retirement accounts. You'd be a real dummy for selling out on your retirement accounts right now, because your retirement account can't be worth what it was a month ago. Just going to say that. Some of you might have actually held on to value, but there is no way that your retirement accounts could really be worth more than they were before. And dumping them out right now is, well, it's kind of being oblivious to the overall effect of what's happening. we may go into a 1 to 2 year crisis. It may be a lot longer than what people had hoped. But even at that, it will come back. Value will come back to the US dollar and to all of your stocks and to your metals. You just got to hang on. Hang on and ride the roller coaster. We're on our way down now, but we'll come back up. Here's one for Farm Dog. Market's kind of reciprocal to gravity. With gravity, everything that goes up must come down. Well, with a market, everything that goes down must come up. Because we have never had a slide in the market that was a permanent thing. It's a horrible idea to buy paper silver. When you're buying paper silver, you're buying the companies that hold silver. You're not buying the silver itself. It's basically just stock in silver holding companies. Now's a bad time to buy anything that's based on a promise. Why don't you just buy the metal itself? I thought I saw that last time, and I'm kind of looking a little carefully at it right now. No, that isn't. I thought there could be a little thing sitting on top of the 7 there that would show me double die. Dennis, they've canceled all coin shows in the United States. All coin shows in the United States are canceled probably through the end of April at this point. I'm going to guess probably through the end of July is where we will eventually go with this. We're just about to issue, our State Department is getting really close to issuing a Travel 4, or a Level 4 travel warning, which basically means don't go anywhere. Stay home. There's Adam. Well, it's amazing. We find a couple of decent double dies in here, but we're not getting very many of them. We got one of each so far. We're halfway through the roll and only got one of each. That's kind of a tease. I like it when we get a mountain of double dies in a roll. That's what I want to see. That was coin number 25. Let's draw for coin number 26. See what happens there. There you go, Mr. Dowdle. There you go, sir. This one will be yours. And it is... not a double die in the date. Got a number of die scratches. On a lot of these coins in this roll, we have a lot of very abrasive die scratching. That's all caused by whoever was working the floor at that particular time when they were striking these bags of coins. Had something like 80 grit sandpaper out there, and he was just sanding away. Don't have to have good reason for that, just do it, right? I'd be the guy out there with a strap of leather trying to polish a die with a strap of leather. I'll be done in 30 minutes, sir. Hey, yeah. But you know what? When I got done, whatever coin to be struck after that would look proof. That's right. I don't stop until you get proof. Shannon McCord. What do we get for Shannon? Well, it looks like cue music. Nothing at all. Uh-oh, we got a spot. That's a spot. I don't like spots. I kind of think we're sort of relegated to what we currently have at the time being. Banks are very, very taxed right now. And trying to get business out of banks or restaurants or going to your coin dealer's shop or anything to that effect, very, very mixed levels of success in doing that. And banks right now are struggling with the overall economy and the fact that they're losing money hand over fist. And secondly, because there are a lot of people trying to draw all of their money out of the banks to protect it. And I think it's, well, very unwise to do that, but that's what people are doing anyway. So you go there looking for your weekly box of pennies. Hey, there's one right there. Another different double die. Look on top of the 7. You see a line going across the top of the 7. That is a double die. It's a minor double die, but it is a double die, and it is a listable double die. Let's look at it up close, if I can get the zoom to work on this, because sometimes zooming on something like this just gives you the opposite effect that you were looking for, which is basically an inability to see it simply because you zoomed in. I'll get it more properly focused. There we go. Little bar on top of the 7 right there. I think anybody really doing a lot of fluctuating with their marketable metals and stocks right now is losing out. Because if you're selling silver at anything below $20 an ounce, you are doing yourself a disservice based on a temporary condition. There's a little dot below the L, so that's going to help us identify this one. You have a dot below the L. You have a little bar above the 7. So that'll help us with this one. That's good for Shannon. Congrats, brother. Got yourself a nice little double die. And the third double die for the roll. And it's the third different die for the roll. Which is very unusual. We've got 3 double dies. And they're all different. Here's another one for Shannon. See what Shannon pulls out of this spot. We're on spot number 29 here. And does Shannon get something? No, I'm not seeing anything on the date area. Not getting anything on this coin. I think it's really cool being able to do this because I like going through rolls of coins anyway. And I've got this eagle eye for this sort of stuff because I've been doing it for about 40 years. And given that I've been doing it as long as I have, and I have as much experience at doing this as I do, it really comes second nature to me to be able to do this and be able to chat with you about what's on the coins all at the same time. And it really is an unintended consequence of what I had initially planned to do with these rolls. Go through them, pull out the goodies, and videotape it just in case someone wanted to complain that I may not be doing it, let's say, honestly. You know, that I was seeding rolls or I was pulling coins out for friends instead of pulling them out for everyone who bought in. And doing it this way has basically assured everyone and reinsured myself that there's nothing clandestine or otherwise ulterior motive going on here. It's just a matter of being able to open rolls and sell the coins out of the rolls prior to opening the roll so that anyone who gets anything really good, well, they're going to get the goodies, and I'm happy. If I pulled out a $20,000 double die right now, I'd be happy you got it. That's just all there is to it. And for me, that's what it is. And the unintended happy consequence of that was that I've get a bunch of people who like to watch the show because it's just cool. It's fun. It's fun to do. It kind of takes sort of after the people who open rolls of $50 and whatnot and go through them and do specials and stuff like that. But this is a little bit different. And the reason it's a little bit different is because the people who have bought the coins actually get the coins they bought. I'm not sending you some silver dime because I found a double die. I'm sending the actual double die. You get the real coin. That's it. I attribute them. I attribute them to the system. And if they're not already in the system, I'll attribute them to the system and give you credit for owning that coin. And that's just another cool beans thing, right? So I think it works out well for both of us. It grows my system. I'm not going to hide the fact that it grows my pocketbook too. It helps me go out and find more rolls. And it helps me in my exposure to other people and talking with people. Social interaction, they call it. Deanne gets the next coin. Let's see what we find here. I just can't believe that I've been through nearly 2/3 of a roll, and I have found 3 double dies in the roll, and all 3 of them are from different dies. That's just amazing. AZ Coins. Farm Dog. Not sure how many of you have actually said something to up to this point. Oh, Mr. Crescent. Mr. Crescent comes back for another stream. Yeah, Silver Nitrate was nice enough to sell me a box of 1981 Philadelphia Mint rolls that are in bank wrappers from Hawaii. I don't know how many of you know Silver Nitrate, but Silver Nitrate lives in Hawaii. So that he picked up these rolls, and they don't even do bank names on rolls much anymore. But these guys... Oh, sorry. They're interesting because the rolls are so old. Here's one of them right here. This is a 1981 Philadelphia roll. And it has Liberty Bank of Honolulu, Hawaii on it. The interesting thing about this is that this is Honolulu, Hawaii, meaning this is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And they're Philadelphia Mint coins. That's kind of strange that they got a Philadelphia bag instead of a Denver bag. But that's what I got in the mail from Silver Nitrate, other than this really nice looking sticker right here. He also gave me a sticker for Little Nitrate. There's Little Nitrate right there. And Deanne's going to get the next coin in the roll as well. Hopefully we'll find a double die again. How about that? Well, we've got a little flattened up 0 that looks like it might have a hook on the bottom of it. It does. So this is another minor double die. It looks like it's going to be the same as die number 1 on the day. It is. It's the same die. So we do finally have a duplicate die, which this is just outstandingly different from normal. We have a second example of die number 1 for the day. Die number 1 for this roll. Been told it's probably, what did you say, number 18? 17, 18? Higher number. So that's coin number 33. It goes to Deanne. And I'll put it here with coin number 11 on the die number 1 for the day stack. Doug Reese. Doug Reese will get the next one. And the next coin has machine doubling. Now I've seen where some other people have begun to publish that these are also called mechanical doubling. I just think mechanical doubling sounds kind of crude in language use. I don't think mechanical doubling. I think machine doubling. It's doubling created by machine, not by a mechanical. So I prefer the older definition, or the older term, which is machine doubling. It's easier to say. It's shorter words. And I just think it sounds more English than saying, well, that's mechanical doubling. No, it's machine doubling. Hey, ya, Paula Bloom. Back again. Just telling everybody I've got to be done here in a few minutes because I got to go eat dinner. I didn't eat dinner with Mama the other day and she got mad. There's another Doug Reese. Doug Reese will get this coin as well. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, interesting little die crack running off the 0 there. See how the light changes. But it is a little die crack, and that's about all it is. This little crack of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Worthless doubling. Might as well, right? Although there will be people who will argue with you and call machine doubling actually valuable because, well, you can sell it on eBay. Folks, I can sell pocket lint on eBay. That doesn't make it valuable. That just means that there's some idiot out there willing to pay for it. There's coin number 35, in and out. For Doug Reese, and coin number 36 now for JOB. Coin number 36 will go to JOB. And here is JOB's coin. What do we see here? Nothing on the date, nothing on the mint mark. Nothing else up and around. And take a look at the reverse. Beef pot roast with taters and carrots, Paula. Time for dinner. Come on down. We were basically left buying whatever meat the store had back when we went shopping last Monday after we got back from the funeral. And as it turns out, it was just in a lull in the action of restocking stores. But we bought pot roast and steak and all kinds of really expensive stuff because it was the stuff everybody else skipped over. They bought all the hamburger and all the chicken and all the lower grade meats, you might say. Left everything else in the bin. Well, of course they're going to, because it's more expensive. When you're in the middle of a crisis, you're not looking for good tasting, you're looking for sustenance, just something to keep going. Well, by the time we got to the grocery store, we were looking for sustenance, something to keep going, and there were like 12 packages of meat left in the entire meat department. And, well, this beef pie roast looked pretty good. So, it was there. So, we got it. Took advantage of that idea. Coin number 38 will go to, that was coin number 37 for Doug Reese. Coin number 38 will go to Doug Reese. Doug Reese gets coin number 38. And it is... Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I didn't see something above the 7. So I was thinking I might have. I do. There is something there. Another different double die. There's a little line right there above the 7, but it's a little farther up above the 7 than the last one. So we have a little line way above the 7 there. It's actually nearly a full thickness distance above the 7. A sweet little line. Sweet Caroline. Let's see here. I can get it focused in, then I'll move it up to the right spot. See it up there? Pretty nice hip-looking little line right there, but that is yet a different double die. That doesn't match any of the 3 double dies we have so far. So now we have a 4th different double die in this roll. 4th different double die in this roll. And this one goes to Doug Reese. Disappeared. Disappeared. Maybe you can see a little bit of it there. Maybe a little better there. But here you can see it. It's a matter of getting the coin turned around the right way to be able to see it. And I finally found that way right here. There it is. And so let's keep looking around, see if there's anything else on the obverse worth talking about, because we do have a little double die obverse there. And we're going to flip it over to the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse worth talking about. Especially looking for something like errors like struck-throughs, lamination, other interesting things that don't necessarily depend on anything from the other side of the coin. One-sided coin errors. Okay, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're at coin number 38. We got 4 different double dies in here. That's going to be a tough roll for me because I have to attribute 4 different double dies now out of one roll. It's kind of cool, but it's tough. Hard work anyway, right? See what we can find on Levels coin here. It's going to be coin number 39 in the roll for Levels of Madness. And we find nothing. We find nothing on that coin. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what's on the reverse. Nothing there either. Dun, dun, dun. I'm glad there's other people watching who find some humor in what I say and do. Because I guarantee you my wife doesn't. She doesn't think I'm funny at all. Here's Deanne. Let's see what we can pick up on Deanne right here. Deanne's going to get... it does not look like it is a die variety of any kind. So far, anyway. Nothing there. And, oh, of course, goes without mention that if I'd found a small date in here, I would have mentioned it. I've not mentioned anything about the date size on any of these because, well, they're all large date, which that's kind of Captain Obvious. Sort of one of those, I don't need to say it because it should be assumed. Once we do actually run into something decent as far as date size is concerned, I will definitely say something. Not going to have to worry about that. I guarantee. Alright. Deanne gets a normal coin out of here. That's coin number 40. Let's look at coin number 41. Who's going to get coin number 41 here? Coin number 41 will go to Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton. Coin. Number 40, 41, 1, 1. Paul. Hampton. Let's see. Do not try to adjust your set. Everything you hear is coming directly from the broadcast studio. Nothing on the obverse. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse. So yeah, that would be interesting to know. Who says reverse and who says reverse? Reverse is number 1. Reverse is number 2. So give me an indicator, 1 or a 2. Do you say reverse or do you say reverse? When you're talking about the backside of a coin. I'm not talking about going backwards in your car. I'm talking about the backside of a coin. Is it reverse or is it reverse? Most people say number 2. Top of the 0 looked interesting. Let's see what the top of the 0 looks like. I also didn't notice there was a spot on the back of the coin. Let's see what the top of the 0 looks like. Not seeing any gravy here. So we have 3 for reverse and 4 for reverse. Not seeing anything here, buddy. Nothing at all. Of course, I know that there'd be a bunch of people just call it the back. But we are nerds. We are numismatist nerds. So we have to say R-E-V-E-R-S-E. It's just a matter of how you pronounce it. Hooked on phonics. Are you also stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me? You lost me and now you're back? Well, I appreciate you continuing the effort to come back. We are currently on coin number 42 for Joe McBride. We have found a grand total of 4 different double die obverses in this roll. One we have 2 examples, and the other 3 we have 1 example each. So we found a total of 5 double dies in the roll. Indeed you am. I like Curad better now. Band-Aid brand doesn't really hold that much for me, unless they're the only ones in the store. I don't generally like the real plasticky smell of some of the off-brand ones. What? We have an RPM. Is that an RPM? Well, first of all, do I see a double die? I don't think I see a double die. But I do believe I see an RPM. Maybe. Okay, gonna have to take a close look at this one. I was actually looking at the upper serif, but I'm not seeing it now. That was just a shadow. Just a shadow. So we're just a bit outside. Ball 2. Is Jim Fletcher in the house? If Jim Fletcher is in the house, please read the chat. If Jim Fletcher is in the house, please say something. Please let us know you're okay. Also, for my own benefit, I want to hear from Steve Elliott. I want to hear from New Marshall. Hello, Jim Fletcher. Check your other messages in Facebook and see if Jessica sent you a message. She's trying to ask you a question. Everybody has their priority set, you know? Everybody has their priority set. And evidently, Bug's priority is all about foundation. She's got to put that makeup on. I know she's not going anywhere, but she's got TikTok videos to do. Mom, come on. Get real. Just ask him in here, Jess. He's not seeing any messages, but you could ask him in here. It's fine. Unless it's something you don't want to say in public. Boy, look how shiny this one is. Really nice luster on this coin. Nice luster and a very clean looking coin too. Gosh. I didn't notice that until I put it down here. That's actually a gouge under the L right there, so that's not going to count against grade. That's a string, so that's not going to count against grade. You got one little spot above the 7 up there that'll count against grade, so you may not get a 68. We'll see what's on the reverse. Or the reverse. There's one. Yeah, that's right. If you ordered on Amazon, you'll get it in a couple of days or less. They are talking about moving Amazon to only essential items. So I'm not really sure whether you can get something like that on Amazon or not. All right, let me put my eyeballs on here real quick because I think I have found a very high-grade coin. Could be. Oh, yeah. Easily. Nice shot there, Mr. Fletcher. You got yourself an MS-66 at least. Could be a 67. Let's look at the coin. Look at that baby. You got that one mark above the 970 up there. Other than that, man, you got a super clean looking coin. Super clean. Look at the face. Heck, there's not a mark on the head. Not a single mark. Very nice. Let's flip it over and take a look at the other side. TikTok is like Instagram, only it only makes very short videos. And if you have a daughter, shame on you for not keeping up with what it is. Just saying. That is a very, very nice coin right there. Very nice quality. Very well struck. Beautiful. Just like Jess says, beautiful and ha ha ha, shame on you, Joe McBride, for not knowing what TikTok is. I don't even have a daughter. In fact, I don't have any kids that live in the house and I know what TikTok is. I think it's, how long are the videos, Jess? Very short. It's like 8 or 10-second videos is basically all you get there. It's not like YouTube where we can sit here and chitter-chatter about coins for hours. Bill, Mr. Crescent, they have this little thing over on the side where you can retract your comment. You might want to do that before you get landed on for not knowing what TikTok is. Having 3 daughters. Seriously? We love you, though. You came here. You're like family now. We have the right to be able to dig at you, ridicule you, or do any of the other horrible things that family members do to one another because, well, now you have that right too. So we can exchange. Yeah, but wouldn't it be really cool, like, if you went on your daughter's TikTok account and made a short video? Actually, absolutely crush her world. I just think it would be funny. You have such power as parents these days. Eric, you can try. You can definitely try, brother. You get that close to me, even virtually, I'm going to yell out that you're a weirdo. You ever heard that thing, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose? Something like that, right? Levels of madness. What do we have for you? Oh, let's see here. I see nothing doubled. I see no RPM. Want to go to Jay's TikTok and make a video? Oh, it can only be accessed by her phone. Yeah, I guess I can't go and just do a photobomb on her, or I would. That's right. I'd make sure I got my hair wet, combed it so it'd be sticking straight up. Maybe put on a favorite holy shirt. Hey, Jake, cousin Jessica said to come say hi. See you at the fish fry. Mr. Buyer. Mr. Wet Willie. Here's your Wet Willie, brother. Yep. I do them better than this. This is a nothing coin. Not that high quality. It's a 65. It's a nice coin, but it's not one worth grading. And we have no hub doubling going on this coin at all on the obverse. So let's take a look at the reverse. Let's see if there might be something on the reverse or the reverse. So is it ever obverse and reverse, or is it always obverse? Because I always make sure I pronounce it very clearly, obverse and reverse. That way everyone will know exactly what I'm saying. I'm not talking like this on the bill thing. Saying reverse, not verse, and a verse. I want you guys to be able to understand everything I say, so I try to be very clear about how I speak. And yes, my accent is a Midwestern accent. And yes, I did live in Florida for 10 years. And yes, I did graduate high school in Memphis, Tennessee. But beyond all those shortcomings in my life, I have lived in a number of countries around the world. I've lived in a number of different places inside the United States. And I do pay attention to how clearly I speak. Oh, partly because I do broadcast. The fact that I do broadcast and I've done voiceover before tends to kind of mean I need to watch how I speak. Because, well, this is how I do things. Yeah, TikTok is new, but we're talking about computer stuff, dude. It's like TikTok is new, but it's been around for almost a year. That's like 50 years, okay? You got to really keep up with the times when it comes to doing computer stuff. Hello, Robert Folk. Down there in isolated, desolate Key West. Mr. Worley gets coin number 49. That's next to the last coin in the roll. Oh, look, we have another double die. And this is yet another different one. How is this happening? This one actually has two hooks on the bottom. Has a hook on the inside and on the outside. And the little bar stretch thing is on the other side of the zero. So now we have yet another different double die, which appeared for a moment to be possibly a class 1 as well, but it's not. But here, we'll zoom on this and take a look at it real quick. Sometimes you got to be really careful about how you look at this kind of stuff, because you may see something you may not realize you've got until somebody else shows it to you and it's too late. You can see a double hook down there on the zero. You can see one pointed toward the left and one pointed toward the right. And then this doubling on the inside of the zero up here. You can see how all that together forms another zero. It was very weakly hubbed into the die. The 1972 roll will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. In Florida, yes. In Florida. All of these stupid young adults. I'm not sure I really consider them adults until they're like 25, but especially the ones that are out there now. Gosh, they just seem so collectively stupid. All right, so this is yet a different double die. So we have a fifth different double die for the roll. 5 different double dies in one roll. Wow. This is definitely nice. Nothing on the reverse. So we will move on. That's coin number 49 for James Worley, and we have one more coin in the roll. One more coin in the roll. Have to prove us right or wrong. Do we have it? 5 different double dies, one roll. Coin number 50 goes to Chuck Patillo. Chuck Patillo gets this one, which was a roll ender. We got to dust this little baby off just a little bit. Hang on. Please stand by. Let me dust the paper off the edge of this coin here. There we go. A little bit of dusting off. Never hurts anybody. We don't have a double die here. We do not have a double die in the last coin in the roll. On the obverse, anyway. Let's flip it over to the clean side. Take a look at the clean side. Joe, you gotta get in tune, brother. Get in tune. If she's 15 going on 30, you'll lose her in a heartbeat. As soon as she decides to move out, she'll be up and gone. And you'll wonder where all those years went. Gosh, that last flip is hard to pick up off the table. It's like stuck to the table. All right, Chuck didn't get anything in that coin. So we have a number of no-nos so far. Well, I'm going to go through the roll again. Anything that happens to show up as I'm going back through the roll, of course, I'm not going to skip it. I'll pull it out. But now I know what I'd be looking for, right? Basically everything. We have 2 of die number 1. That's 33 and 11. And this is die number 1 for the roll, not die number 1. We have 1 of die number 2 for the roll. It's number 17. We have 1 for die 3 of the roll. That's number 28. We have 1 for die number 4 of the roll. That's number 38. And we have 1 for die number 5 of the roll. That's number 49. So we have 5 different doubled dies and 1 original bank wrapped roll. And we have this one coming up later this evening. It's a 1972 roll. 1972, boys and girls. All right, so I'm going to take off. I'm going to go eat dinner, and I'll be back with you guys in about an hour and 45 minutes. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate you guys showing up, and I want you to stay safe. Keep your social distance. Teach your kids the same. Show them how to wash their hands the right way, and we'll all be safe. And everybody will make it out of this alive. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later.